Hello, Bramley here, and today I'm a respectable Victorian gentleman, which means I get to wear a zot of tweed, consume opium, speak down to poor people, and have very strong opinions about women voting. No, stop trying to vote. It also means I'm uniquely qualified to investigate spooky hauntings. Today, we're playing Wyrded Hand Lighthouse, a Lovecraftian game featuring Carnacki the Ghost Finder. Carnacki is an occult detective who uses his colossal scientific intellect and a gun to solve mysteries of the supernatural kind. It's based on the works of William Hope Hodgson. If you haven't read his books, I would highly recommend them. This is a choose-your-own-adventure, which does involve reading, so about a third of my American audience won't be able to play it anyway. So turn off the lights, grab a stiff drink, as we prepare to investigate Wyrded Hand Lighthouse. Okay, so we've been sent a letter from Arthur Winston, keeper of the Wyrded Hand Lighthouse. Benedict Thorne, a respected priest, has met a ghastly demise while performing a blessing on the town's decommissioned lighthouse. Details of his death are shrouded in horror. Goodness! And Arthur is imploring me, an occult detective, to investigate. We get a choice of 2 starting objects, a lantern which can unveil the hidden, and a skeleton key dating back to the Crusades which can apparently open any door. Let's grab the key. Chapter 1. The Rival. Okay, so we've arrived at Arthur's residence after a very long journey. It's cold, dark, rainy, and my boots are now caked in mud, but there's a welcoming glow coming from Arthur's house. We have a choice. Do I want to look around or knock on the door? To be honest, at this point, I just want a cup of tea. Let's knock on. Let me in. This must be Arthur. Quickly, come inside out of this wretched weather, he says, a hint of relief in his voice. Thanks, Arthur. Okay, we're in. The glow of the fire banishing the cold and damp from my bones. We have another choice. Do we want to observe Arthur's appearance? Sure, let's have a perv at Arthur. Arthur's weathered face told of a life shaped by sun, wind, and sea, yet his eyes held a surprising warmth. His calloused hands spoke of years spent handling ropes at sea, while a faded regimental tattoo on his arm quietly hinted at his past in the British Army. Okay, that's interesting. He used to be in the army, so he's probably not easily spooked. Please allow me to show you to your room. Okay, so Arthur's prepared a guest room for us. I guess this means we won't be sharing a bed with Arthur. Arthur opened the guest room door, welcoming Carnacki with the warmth and the scent of fresh linens. A fire crackled in the hearth, casting a cozy glow. Make yourself at home, Arthur said. There's hot water to freshen up. Come down when you're ready. Food's prepared and we have much to discuss. Can I have the Wi-Fi password, please? No Wi-Fi? Chapter 2. The Death of Benedict Thorne. As the fire crackled, Carnacki and Arthur sat in mahogany armchairs with port and cigars in hand, as all well-respected men should. Their talk shifted from pleasantries to purpose as the hour grew late. Leaning forward, Arthur's tone turned grave. Carnacki, I appreciate your willingness to assist, he said. The events that have transpired at Wyrded Hand Lighthouse are disturbing. What happened, Arthur? Benedict Thorne, the priest sent to bless the lighthouse during its recommissioning, died under very strange circumstances, Arthur said, pausing. It wasn't an accident. It was unnatural, he said, his voice barely above a whisper. Arthur, stop being such a tease and just tell me what happened. I was the only witness. I heard strange noises, saw a shadow in the shape of a giant hand. And Thorn, his body, he hesitated. Thorn's body lay twisted and broken at the foot of the lighthouse stairs. His form resembled a shattered puppet, its strings severed and its limbs contorted in unnatural angles. Bones protruded from torn flesh as if it had been ripped apart by the claws of some monstrous predator. Even in my years of service in the British Army, never had I witnessed such a gruesome sight. I've actually just remembered, Arthur. I've got something on. Yeah, sorry, I have to go now. Okay, well that's gruesome. Okay, why was a blessing requested? The lighthouse was always rumoured to be haunted. Ominous tales of footsteps, moving objects, doors opening on their own, just stories, passed down over the years. But once restoration began, the legends started to feel real. Arthur's words hung heavy as Carnacki listened. The workers began experiencing the very phenomena from the old tales. Footsteps, slamming doors, vanishing tools, he said, voice edged with unease. They refused to continue, so Thorn was brought in to bless the lighthouse and put any lingering spirits to rest. Okay, it's obviously haunted, Arthur. Case closed. What can you tell me about the lighthouse? I inherited the lighthouse years ago, Arthur said. It was always in disrepair, until the local historical society, backed by a wealthy donor, pushed for its restoration. Thorn told me of its origins, built atop the ruins of a Roman lighthouse dating back nearly 2,000 years, if he's to be believed. There's a cellar beneath the lighthouse, Arthur said, intrigued. Empty, except for a massive standing stone too large to move. So the lighthouse was built over it. Odd, really. He frowned. An archaeological survey was done years ago. I don't recall the details, but the report should be in the local library archives. Okay, what do you know about Benedict Thorn? Thorn hadn't been with us long, Arthur reflected. He arrived after the previous clergyman passed away, just before the lighthouse recommissioning. He was a private man, but oddly fascinated by the lighthouse, seemed to know more about its history than the locals, Arthur added. As its owner, I likely spoke with him more than most. Thorn was a physicist in his previous occupation, working with electromagnetic waves. Though I didn't understand much of it, Arthur admitted. I did notice something peculiar during the blessing. His blessing wasn't like any ceremony I'd heard. It was a chant, not in English. He also had a strange device with him, like a radio, emitting a low hum. I couldn't make sense of it. Arthur hesitated. There's one more thing. Thorn had a camera with him that night. I had the tintype developed, but be warned, it's disturbing. With trembling hands, he handed Carnacki the photo. A chill swept through him. The details were unnervingly clear. A giant black hand lunging towards the camera, its fingers elongated and twisted, its form contorting in a twisted mockery of human anatomy. As Carnacki's gaze lingered upon the chilling image, a dreadful funk descended upon him. The grey room, he whispered to himself, a fleeting reference to a past encounter. With a determined shake of his head, Carnacki roused himself from the trance-like state induced by the ghastly image. Drawing a deep breath, he steadied his nerves. I should visit the lighthouse, perhaps during the day when supernatural phenomena is less pronounced. Also, a visit to Thorn's clergy house would be pertinent, and a trip to the local library's archives to research the lighthouse's history. Then Carnacki understandably heads off to bed. Okay, so to summarize, an anonymous benefactor funded the restoration of an old lighthouse built atop the ruins of a Roman lighthouse and an ancient standing stone. Soon after work began, strange and unsettling events started occurring. To address this, Benedict Thorne was called to perform a blessing. But something went terribly wrong. During the ritual, which involved a mysterious chant and a radio-like device, Thorne was killed by a giant black hound. And though new to the area, Thorne, who used to be a physicist, had an unusual knowledge of the lighthouse and its history, more than one would expect. I don't trust this Thorne fellow. The next morning, Carnacki awoke to a grim, rainy dawn that matched his somber mood. After a hearty breakfast at Arthur's, he contemplated his investigation. Is it the lighthouse where Thorne died? Explore Thorne's clergy house for clues? Or delve into the local library's archives to uncover their lighthouse's history? I want to know more about Thorne because I do not trust him. Chapter 3: The Clergy House. Well, that is the end of the demo. I really enjoyed that. Felt very atmospheric, genuinely terrifying, and very authentically written. Whoever made this is clearly very talented and probably very handsome. Did I mention I made this game? No, that's weird. Pretty sure I mentioned that. Anyway, I'm completely impartial, but this was awesome. Much better than Starfield. If you fancy having a go yourself, I'll leave a link in the description below. Like all respectable Victorian men, I'm off to a brothel to murder a prostitute. Thank you for watching. I love you all. Unless you're poor. Bye.
Blah, 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 blah.